Be prepared. Tomorrow changes everything. I need you to listen carefully right now, because what I'm about to tell you isn't just another astrological prediction. March 13th isn't just another day on the calendar. Tomorrow morning, at exactly the moment Jupiter stations direct in Cancer, the universe opens a vault that's been locked since November. And if you've been feeling like you've been working in the dark, giving without receiving, building without seeing results, tomorrow is the day the cosmic ledger finally balances. Most people scrolling past this video right now have no idea what's about to hit. They're going to wake up tomorrow, go about their day, completely oblivious to the fact that the largest planet in our solar system gears and started moving forward again after 4 months of retrograde motion. But you're here. You found this video. And I don't think that's an accident. Here's what's really happening. Since November 11th, Jupiter has been moving backward through the sign of Cancer. And when Jupiter, the planet that literally governs luck, expansion, growth, and abundance, goes retrograde, it's like the universe hits pause on your blessings. All those opportunities you've been working toward it yourself. All that recognition you deserve. All the financial breakthroughs that should have materialized by now. They've been held in cosmic escrow, waiting, building pressure, accumulating interest. And tomorrow, the dam breaks. But here's what most astrology content won't tell you. This isn't going to feel like gentle, gradual improvement. When a planet as massive as Jupiter stations direct, especially in a sign where it's exalted like Cancer, the release is explosive. It's like a slingshot that's been pulled back as far as it can go for solid months. All that tension, all that potential energy, all those delayed blessings, they're about to launch forward with incredible force. I've been tracking this transit for weeks, and the more I study the planetary geometry, the timing, the way this connects to everything else happening in March, the more convinced I become that tomorrow marks one of the most significant turning points of the entire year. And there's one specific reason this is hitting you now. A reason that has to do with the work you've been doing in private, the sacrifices nobody saw, the integrity you maintained when it would have been easier to quit. I'll reveal exactly what that means later in this video. But first you need to understand what's been building up to this moment. Stay with me. Because if you've been feeling this strange pressure in your chest lately, like something massive is trying to break through from the inside, you're about to find out exactly what that sensation means. Let me take you back to November. On November 11th, 2025, Jupiter went retrograde at 21 degrees of Cancer. And if you remember that time, you probably felt it. Things that were moving forward suddenly stalled. Opportunities that seemed certain started falling through. Money that should have arrived got delayed. Relationships that were progressing hit unexpected obstacles. For the past 4 months, it's felt like you've been running on a treadmill, putting in maximum effort, sweating, grinding, showing up every single day. But when you look around, you're still in the same place. The scenery hasn't changed. The destination doesn't seem any closer. And that's been incredibly frustrating, hasn't it? But here's what the universe was actually doing during that time. Jupiter retrograde isn't punishment. It's preparation. When Jupiter moves backward, it's forcing you to go internal, to build your foundation from the inside out, to develop the emotional resilience and inner security you'll need to handle what's coming. Think about it like this. If someone's about to hand you $1 million, you need the right structures in place to hold that wealth. You need the mindset, the boundaries, the self-worth, the practical systems. If you don't have those things, the money will slip through your fingers as fast as it arrived. The retrograde period was building that container. It was making sure you're actually ready to receive what you've been asking for. And I know that's been hard. I felt it myself. The past 4 months have felt like trudging through mud, like putting in all this effort and not seeing the results you deserve, like the universe forgot about you, Like your hard work doesn't matter. Like maybe you're doing something wrong. But you're not doing anything wrong. You've been in a cosmic holding pattern. And tomorrow, that pattern breaks. Here's what makes this even more powerful. Jupiter isn't just any planet going direct. Jupiter is currently in Cancer, which is one of the most potent placements Jupiter can occupy. In traditional astrology, Jupiter is said to be exalted in Cancer. That means its positive qualities are amplified. Its blessings are magnified. Its capacity to deliver abundance is at maximum strength. Cancer is the sign of emotional security, home, family, nurturing, and deep inner safety. So when Jupiter is in Cancer, it expands your capacity to feel secure, to create sanctuary, to build a life that actually feeds your soul instead of just paying your bills. The growth that's been happening during this retrograde has been deeply personal. It's been about healing your relationship with safety, with worthiness, with your right to take up space and receive good things. And now that Jupiter is stationing direct, all that internal work is about to translate into external results. The emotional clarity you've gained, the boundaries you've established, the self-worth you've reclaimed. It's all about to manifest as real, tangible success in the physical world. But there's something else happening tomorrow that most people aren't talking about. And this is what makes the timing so precise. It feels almost orchestrated by divine intelligence. Just hours after Jupiter stations direct, the moon moves into Capricorn. And Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planet of karma, structure, discipline, and consequences. When the moon enters Capricorn, it becomes the cosmic accountant. It reviews the books. It checks the ledger. It calculates exactly what you're owed based on what you've actually built. So here's what's happening. Jupiter, going direct, releases the abundance. The Capricorn moon provides the structure to catch it and turn it into something real. It's like Jupiter is opening the floodgates. And Capricorn is building the irrigation system to make sure that water doesn't just flood everything and disappear into the ground. It gets channeled. It gets directed. It gets used to grow something lasting. This is why the timing is so perfect. Most people experience either inspiration without execution or execution without inspiration. They get the vision but can't make it real. Or they have the discipline but no sense of purpose. Tomorrow, you get both at the exact same time. The dream and the plan. The vision and the blueprint. The desire and the discipline. And that combination is unstoppable. Now let me tell you about that pressure you've been feeling. You know what I'm talking about. That strange sensation right in the center of your chest. Not quite anxiety. Not quite excitement. Just this steady building pressure, like something is trying to break through from the inside. Some of you might have felt it between your shoulder blades. Others in the solar plexus. It's been there for days, maybe even weeks, and you couldn't explain it. You might have thought it was stress. You might have tried to ignore it. But here's what's actually happening. Your nervous system has been preparing for tomorrow. Your body knew before your mind did that massive energy is about to move through you. That pressure you've been feeling. That's potential energy. That's every choice you've made. Every sacrifice you've honored. Every moment of discipline you maintained when it would have been easier to quit. All of it compressed into a single point, waiting to release. Tomorrow, when Jupiter's direct and the Capricorn moon locks into place, that pressure releases. And what replaces is his clarity, momentum, undeniable forward movement. You're going to wake up on March 13th and feel different, lighter, but also more solid, like something that was out of alignment just clicked back into place. And suddenly, the path forward, the one you've been squinting at through fog for months, becomes crystal clear. But here's what you need to understand about how this actually works. The rewards coming tomorrow aren't random. They're not the universe just throwing blessings at people randomly. Jupiter in Cancer, especially when it's direct, operates on a very specific principle. It rewards emotional integrity. It pays back those who've done the inner work. It delivers abundance to people who've built a secure internal foundation. During the retrograde period, the universe was testing you. It was asking, can you maintain your worth even when nobody's watching? Can you keep showing up even when you're not getting immediate results? Can you hold your boundaries even when it costs you? Can you stay aligned with your values even when it would be easier to compromise? If you passed those tests, if you kept your integrity intact, if you continued building even when you couldn't see the blueprint, tomorrow is when you get paid. Not in vague spiritual feelings or good vibes. In real, tangible, material results. Let me be specific about what that looks like, because I think this is where a lot of people miss the point. When I say Jupiter delivers rewards, I'm talking about actual money that's been stuck suddenly clearing. That client who's been thinking about it for months finally signs the contract. That invoice that's been sitting unpaid, the payment comes through. That raise you were promised back in November, it finally materializes. That investment you made that seemed to disappear, it suddenly starts showing returns. I'm talking about career breakthroughs that seemed impossible, the promotion that kept getting delayed, the opportunity you thought you missed, the recognition you stopped hoping for. Tomorrow's energy doesn't just open doors, it removes entire walls. What's been blocked since late 2025 suddenly has a clear path forward. I'm talking about the solidification of long-term plans. Maybe you've been building something quietly. A business, a creative project, a new life structure. Tomorrow is when that invisible work becomes visible. When the foundation you've been laying finally supports the structure you're ready to build. And here's what makes this different from every other manifestation moment you've experienced. This isn't about attracting something new. This is about receiving what you've already earned. The work is done. The debt is owed. Tomorrow is payday. But not everyone is going to experience this the same way. While the energy affects everyone to some degree, there are 3 specific zodiac signs that are standing directly at the epicenter of this cosmic event. 3 signs that have been carrying the heaviest load during the retrograde. 3 signs that have been tested the most intensely. And tomorrow, they're getting their cosmic justice served directly to them. The 3 signs positioned to experience the most explosive breakthroughs tomorrow are Aries, Cancer, and Libra. And it's not random. It's based on the specific planetary geometry, the house activations, and the way Jupiter's direct station interacts with each sign's current transits. If you're an Aries, tomorrow hits your career sector like a freight train. For months, you felt this weird friction between your natural impulse to charge forward and these forces that seem to be slowing you down, making everything feel restricted or foggy. That's been Saturn and Neptune both in your first house, creating this contradictory energy where you want to move but feel stuck. But tomorrow, when Jupiter goes direct in your 4th house of home and foundation, something fundamental shifts. Your emotional security stabilizes. Your sense of inner safety solidifies. And when that internal foundation locks into place, it creates a launching pad for your external ambitions. The Capricorn moon tomorrow creates this powerful opposition to Jupiter in your home sector. And what that means is your private victories are about to become public recognition. The work you've been doing behind closed doors, the skills you've been developing when nobody was watching, the foundation you've been building in secret. Tomorrow it all gets thrust into the spotlight. I'm talking about career momentum that feels almost violent in its intensity. Job offers that come out of nowhere. Leadership opportunities that suddenly open up. Projects you've been working on that finally get the green light in the budget. For Aries, tomorrow isn't just about getting what you deserve. It's about being catapulted into a position of authority you didn't even know you were ready for until the moment it happens. And here's what makes this even more powerful for you. Mars, your ruling planet, is currently in Pisces, moving toward a conjunction with the North Node on March 13th, the exact same day Jupiter goes direct. Do you understand what that means? Your personal drive, your will, your capacity for action. It's being aligned with your soul's destiny at the precise moment the universe releases its abundance. This isn't just success. This is fated success. This is you stepping into the role you were literally born to play. If you're a Cancer, tomorrow is deeply personal in a way that's hard to put into words. Jupiter has been retrograde in your first house, which is the house of identity, self-image, and how you show up in the world. For 4 months, you've been going through this intense internal reconstruction, questioning who you are, examining your patterns, healing old wounds around worthiness and visibility. And I know that's been exhausting. Cancer energy is already so sensitive, so attuned to emotional undercurrents, and having Jupiter retrograde in your sign has felt like being under a microscope. Every insecurity magnified, every fear amplified, every old wound reopened for examination. But here's what shifts tomorrow. When Jupiter stations direct in your first house, it's like the universe is saying, okay, you've done the work. Now here's the reward. And for Cancer, that reward is a fundamental expansion of your sense of self. You're not just getting external success tomorrow. You're getting permission to take up more space, to be bigger, to shine brighter, to stop apologizing for your existence. The Capricorn moon tomorrow activates your 7th house of partnerships, and what that creates is this beautiful dynamic where your personal growth gets reflected back to you through your relationships. People start treating you differently, not because you're trying to impress them, but because you've genuinely changed. Your energy has shifted. Your boundaries are clearer. Your self-worth is unshakable. I think you're going to see this show up in really tangible ways. Business partnerships that have been stuck suddenly move forward. Romantic relationships that have been in limbo finally get clarity. Collaborations that seemed impossible suddenly become obvious next steps. And here's the beautiful part. You're not chasing these things. They're coming to you. Because when Jupiter goes direct in your first house, you become magnetic. You don't have to pursue. You attract. For Cancer, tomorrow is the day you stop shrinking to make others comfortable. The day you claim your full presence without guilt. The day the universe looks at you and says, yes, this is who you've always been meant to be. And if you're a Libra, tomorrow hits your career sector with the force of a cosmic sledgehammer. The Capricorn moon is moving through your 4th house of home and foundation, and it's opposing Jupiter in your 10th house of public reputation and professional achievement. This creates what astrologers call a push-pull dynamic, but I think it's more like a slingshot. For months, you've been dealing with this tension between your private life and your public ambitions. Maybe you felt guilty about prioritizing your career. Maybe family obligations have been pulling you away from professional opportunities. Maybe you've been struggling to find balance between being there for others and pursuing your own goals. But tomorrow, that tension resolves. Not through compromise, through elevation. The Capricorn moon stabilizes your home life, creates structure in your personal foundation, and that stability becomes the launching pad for massive professional breakthroughs. You're not sacrificing one for the other anymore. Both are expanding together. I think you're going to see this manifest as sudden career recognition, awards, promotions, public acknowledgement of your work. But it's not just about external validation. It's about you finally feeling secure enough in your personal life to fully step into your professional power. The guilt dissolves. The fear of being too much or too ambitious. It evaporates. And what's left is pure, focused ambition backed by emotional security. For Libra, tomorrow is the day you stop playing small to keep the peace. The day you realize your success doesn't threaten your relationships. The day you claim your authority without apology. Now let me tell you something that's true for all 3 of these signs, and honestly for everyone experiencing this transit. The rewards coming tomorrow aren't just about getting stuff. They're about receiving confirmation that your path is correct. that your choices mattered, that the universe was paying attention the whole time. Because here's what I've realized about Jupiter retrograde periods. They're not just about delays. They're about testing your faith. The universe is asking, will you keep building even when you can't see the results? Will you maintain your integrity even when nobody's watching? Will you trust the process even when the evidence suggests you're wasting your time? And if you answered yes to those questions, if you kept showing up, if you maintained your standards, if you refused to compromise your values for short-term comfort, tomorrow is when you get proof that it wasn't in vain. The universe was keeping score, and now it's time to collect. But here's something crucial I need you to understand. The way you receive tomorrow's blessings matters just as much as the blessings themselves. Because Capricorn energy, especially with Saturn's influence, doesn't just hand you success and walk away. It's watching to see what you do with it. It's testing whether you can handle the responsibility that comes with abundance. So when opportunities show up tomorrow, when money starts moving, when recognition arrives, you can't just passively accept it and hope it sticks around. You have to actively build structures to hold it. You have to create systems to sustain it. You have to demonstrate that you're a responsible steward of what you're being given. This is why the Capricorn moon is so important. It's not just delivering rewards. It's teaching you how to maintain them, how to turn temporary success into lasting stability, how to transform and fall into a foundation. And I think this is where a lot of people miss the point with Jupiter transits. They get excited about the expansion, the luck, the abundance, but they don't do the Saturn work of actually building something sustainable with it. They get the opportunity but don't follow through. They receive the money but don't manage it wisely. They achieve the success but don't create the structures to maintain it. Tomorrow gives you both. The Jupiter expansion and the Capricorn structure. The dream and the discipline. The vision and the execution. But you have to meet it halfway. You have to be ready to do the work of actually building something real with what you're being given. Let me give you a specific example of what this looks like in practice. Let's say you're someone who's been working on a creative project for months, writing a book, building a business, developing a product. During the Jupiter retrograde, you've been doing all this invisible work, research, planning, skill development, internal preparation, but nothing's launched yet. Nothing's public. You have no proof that any of this matters. Tomorrow, when Jupiter goes direct, you might suddenly get the opportunity to pitch your project to someone important, or you might receive unexpected funding, or you might have a breakthrough insight that solves a problem you've been stuck on for months. That's the Jupiter part. The expansion, the opportunity, the breakthrough. But here's where the Capricorn moon comes in. When that opportunity arrives, you can't just wing it. You have to show up prepared. You have to have your materials organized. You have to demonstrate that you've done the work. You have to prove that you're serious, that you're professional, that you can be trusted with this opportunity. The universe is basically saying, I'm opening the door, but you have to walk through it with confidence and competence. I'm giving you the resources, but you have to use them wisely. I'm handing you the keys, but you have to know how to drive. And this is why the past 4 months of Jupiter retrograde were so important. They weren't wasted time. They were preparation time. You were developing the skills, the knowledge, the emotional maturity, the practical systems you need to handle what's coming tomorrow. You were building the container strong enough to hold the abundance. So when tomorrow arrives, when opportunities start showing up, when money starts moving, when recognition comes your way, don't second-guess yourself. Don't minimize it. Don't convince yourself you don't deserve it. You do. You've earned it. You've done the work. And the universe is finally acknowledging that. But also don't get complacent. Don't think the work is over. Because what you receive tomorrow isn't the finish line. It's the starting line. It's the universe saying, okay, You've proven you can handle this level. Now let's see what you can do with it. Now let's see how far you can take this. Now let's see what you're really capable of. And here's something else I want you to understand about tomorrow's energy. The breakthroughs you experience, they're not going to feel random. They're going to feel inevitable. Like pieces of a puzzle finally clicking into place. Like a door you've been pushing on for months, suddenly swinging open. Like the universe saying, "Oh, you're finally ready. Here you go." That's because Jupiter in Cancer rewards emotional readiness. It doesn't just look at your resume or your bank account or your external achievements. It looks at your internal state. It asks, have you healed your relationship with receiving? Have you released your scarcity mindset? Have you stopped believing you have to suffer to be worthy? Have you given yourself permission to actually want good things? If the answer is yes, if you've done that internal work during the retrograde, tomorrow is when it pays off. Not in some vague spiritual way, in real, tangible, material results that you can see and touch and use to build the life you actually want. And I want to be really clear about something that I think gets lost in a lot of spiritual content. The abundance coming tomorrow isn't just about you getting yours. It's about you becoming a channel for abundance to flow through. Because Jupiter in Cancer does expand your personal resources. It expands your capacity to nurture, to support, to create safety for others. So when you receive tomorrow's blessings, when the money comes through, when the opportunities arrive, when the recognition lands, part of your responsibility is to turn around and extend that same energy to others, not from a place of obligation or guilt, but from genuine overflow, because that's how Jupiter in Cancer works. It creates cycles of abundance. You receive, you give, you receive more, you give more. The flow never stops as long as you keep it moving. And this is actually the secret to making tomorrow's breakthroughs last. It's not about hoarding what you get. It's about using it to create more abundance. Not just for yourself, but for everyone in your orbit. When you operate from that mindset, when you see yourself as a conduit rather than a container, the universe has no choice but to keep sending more your way. Because you've proven you know how to use it correctly. Now let me talk about something that might be uncomfortable but needs to be said. Not everyone is going to be happy about your success tomorrow. When you start receiving what you've earned, when you start stepping into your power, when you start claiming the space you deserve, some people in your life are going to have a problem with it. They might disguise it as concern. They might tell you you're changing, that success is going to your head, that you're not the same person anymore. And you know what? They're right. You're not the same person. You've grown. You've evolved. You've done the work to become someone who can handle this level of abundance. And if they can't celebrate that, if they can't support your expansion, that tells you everything you need to know about whether they belong in your future. Because here's what Jupiter direct in Cancer is also doing. It's clarifying your relationships. It's showing you who's really in your corner and who was only comfortable with you when you were small, struggling, and non-threationed. The people who genuinely love you will be thrilled about your breakthroughs tomorrow. The people who were only around because your struggles made them feel better about themselves. They're going to reveal themselves through their reactions. And I know that's painful. I know it's hard to realize that some people you thought were your friends were actually invested in your failure. But tomorrow's energy is ruthless about clearing out what doesn't serve you. It's making space for relationships that actually support your growth. For people who can handle your success without feeling diminished by it. So if you notice some relationships getting weird tomorrow, if you sense jealousy or resentment or passive-aggressive comments, don't try to shrink yourself to make them comfortable. Don't dim your light to protect their ego. That's not your job. Your job is to keep expanding, keep growing, keep claiming what's yours, and trust that the universe will replace those people with others who can actually match your new frequency. Let me also talk about what happens after tomorrow. because I think this is important. Jupiter going direct isn't a one-day event. It's the beginning of a new cycle that lasts until June 9th, when Jupiter moves into Leo. For the next 3 months, you're in this incredible window where Jupiter's forward motion in Cancer is building momentum, creating opportunities, expanding your emotional security and material abundance. But the breakthroughs you experience tomorrow set the tone for everything that follows. The choices you make on March 13th are the opportunities you say yes to, the boundaries you establish, the standards you set. They become the foundation for the next 3 months of growth. So you want to be really intentional about how you show up tomorrow. This isn't the time to play it safe. This isn't the time to second-guess yourself or wait for permission or wonder if you're ready. You are ready. You've been preparing for months. The universe is literally handing you the keys. All you have to do is turn them. And here's something I've been thinking about a lot as I've been preparing for this transit. The reason Jupiter retrograde felt so hard, the reason these past 4 months have been so challenging, is because the universe was forcing you to develop something that can't be taught. It was forcing you to develop faith. Not blind faith, not naive optimism, but real, tested, battle-hardened faith. The kind of faith that says, I'm going to keep building even when I can't see the results. I'm going to keep showing up even when nobody's watching. I'm going to maintain my integrity even when it costs me. I'm going to trust the process even when the evidence suggests I'm wasting my time. That kind of faith can't be learned from a book or a video or a motivational speech. It can only be developed through experience, through showing up day after day when nothing seems to be working, through maintaining your standards when it would be easier to lower them, through believing in yourself when nobody else does. And tomorrow, when Jupiter goes direct, when the breakthroughs start happening, when the abundance starts flowing, you're going to understand why you had to develop that faith. Because the level of success you're about to experience requires that kind of unshakable internal foundation. Without it, you'd self-sabotage. You'd convince yourself you don't deserve it. You'd find a way to mess it up. But you've done the work. You've built that foundation. You've developed that faith. And now you're ready to receive what you've been asking for without destroying it in the process. I also want to talk about the Mars North Node conjunction happening on March 13th, because this adds another layer to everything I've been explaining. The North Node represents your destiny, your soul's purpose, the direction you're meant to evolve toward. And when Mars, the planet of action and will, conjuncts the North Node, it creates this massive surge of energy pushing you toward your fate. So here's what's happening. Jupiter going direct releases the abundance and resources. The Capricorn moon provides the structure to hold them. And the Mars North Node conjunction ensures that everything you receive is in service of your highest path. This isn't random success. This isn't ego gratification. This is destiny unfolding. The opportunities that show up tomorrow, the money that comes through, the recognition you receive, they're not just rewards for past effort. They're tools for your future mission. The universe is saying, here's what you need to do what you came here to do. Here are the resources to fulfill your purpose. Here's the support to step into your destiny. And that's what makes this moment so powerful. It's not just about getting what you want. It's about receiving what you need to become who you're meant to be. The universe isn't just making you comfortable. It's equipping you for your mission. So when tomorrow arrives, when the breakthroughs start happening, pay attention to how they align with your deeper purpose. Notice how the opportunities that show up connect to the work you feel called to do. Recognize how the resources you receive enable you to serve in ways you couldn't before. Because that's not coincidence. That's cosmic orchestration. And here's something else I want you to understand. The pressure you've been feeling, that sensation in your chest, it's not going to completely disappear tomorrow. It's going to transform. It's going to shift from this heavy, building pressure into forward momentum, into drive, into unstoppable motivation. Because once Jupiter goes direct, once the dam breaks, once the abundance starts flowing, you're going to feel this incredible urgency to move, to build, to create, to expand. And that's exactly what you're supposed to feel. That's the energy you've been waiting for. That's the momentum that's been building for months, finally released. But you have to channel it correctly. You can't just scatter your energy in every direction. You can't chase every opportunity that shows up. You have to be strategic. You have to be focused. You have to use the Capricorn moon's energy to create structure around your expansion. So tomorrow, when you feel that surge of energy, when you feel that drive to move forward, take a moment to get clear on your priorities. What are the 3 most important things you need to focus on right now? What are the opportunities that actually align with your long-term vision? What are the actions that will create the most sustainable results? Because Jupiter's energy is abundant, but it can also be scattered. It wants to expand in every direction at once. And without Saturn's discipline, without Capricorn's structure, that expansion can become chaos. So you need to be the one who provides that focus. You need to be the one who channels that energy into specific, strategic action. And I think this is where a lot of people miss the opportunity with Jupiter transits. They get so excited about all the possibilities that they try to do everything at once. They say yes to every opportunity. They chase every shiny object, and they end up exhausted, overwhelmed, and no further ahead than when they started. Don't make that mistake. Tomorrow gives you incredible energy and abundant opportunities, but you still have to choose. You still have to prioritize. You still have to focus your efforts on what actually matters. And the Capricorn moon is there to help you do exactly that. It's asking, what are you actually trying to build here? What's the long-term vision? What structures need to be in place for this to last? Answer those questions before you start saying yes to everything. Get clear on your strategy before you start taking action. Build the plan before you start executing, because that's how you turn tomorrow's breakthroughs into lasting success. Let me also address something that might be coming up for some of you. Fear. Because as exciting as all of this sounds, as much as you've been waiting for this moment, there's probably a part of you that's scared. Scared of success. Scared of visibility. Scared of what happens when you actually get what you've been asking for. And that's normal. That's human. Because success changes things. It changes how people see you. It changes your responsibilities. It changes your life. And change, even positive change, is inherently uncomfortable. But here's what I need you to understand. That fear is not a sign that you're not ready. It's a sign that you're about to level up. It's a sign that you're stepping into something bigger than what you've known before. And your nervous system is trying to keep you safe by keeping you small. Don't listen to it. Don't let that fear convince you to play it safe tomorrow. Don't let it talk you out of the opportunities that show up. Don't let it make you shrink when the universe is asking you to expand. Because the truth is, you're more ready than you think. You've been preparing for this for 4 months. You've done the internal work. You've built the foundation. You've developed the faith. You have everything you need to handle what's coming. The only thing standing between you and your breakthrough is your willingness to step through the fear and claim it. And I promise you, on the other side of that fear is everything you've been working toward. The abundance, the recognition, the success, the life you've been building in your mind for months or years. It's all there, waiting for you to be brave enough to reach out and take it. So tomorrow, when the opportunities show up, when the fear rises, when that voice in your head starts listing all the reasons why you're not ready or why this won't work or why you should wait, I want you to remember this moment. I want you to remember that you found this video for a reason, that you stayed until the end for a reason, that the universe has been preparing you for this exact moment for 4 months. And then I want you to take the action anyway. Say yes to the opportunity. Make the investment. Take the leap. Claim what's yours. Because tomorrow is your day. Tomorrow is when everything you've been building